Well, hello and happy Friday, April 2nd, 2021. And it's also Good Friday. So have a good Friday and have a wonderful Easter weekend this weekend. I don't know if you're still in the Easter egg hiding business, but I've been out of it for a little bit, but it's always fun. So have fun if you're still doing that. All right. Well, it has been a busy week for me. I hope it has for you. In fact, so busy. I actually got up at 4:30 this morning just to get this one put together for you. I had the framework, but didn't get it. I didn't have the slides ready, so I got up, put the coffee with chicory IV in my arm, and here we go. We are ready to roll today. We're going to be talking about the 7 abilities of high achievers that enable them to fail, not take it personally, and keep moving forward because that's what we want to do. And of course, we've been going over in our in the network and our other deep dives, failing forward with John Maxwell, one of my favorite authors, and so we're going to be giving him some props today for this information. But if you hadn't read Failing Forward, hop out there and get it. You can hop on our site a2bforme.com in the store and get it, or sign up for one of our deep dives on it. It's some good stuff. But we're going to I'm going to back out of here and we're going to get going. I'll see you guys a little bit. All right, well, let's get on with the first slide of the day. And the number one thing is that achievers reject rejection. So you got to learn to reject rejection. Great little quote here by James Allen. It says, "A man is literally what he thinks, his character being the complete sum of all thought." And we talk a lot about character. It's really a high level on our A to B for me strategy. You got thoughts, action, habits, and then character. So it takes a while to get that built, but it's so very important to get that character built. And once you get it built, you want to take care of it. But it definitely is the sum of all thought. It's your core values. And you need that to get to your destiny. That's why we work so hard to get it. And once we get it, we want to protect it. But people who don't give up keep trying because they don't base their self-worth on their performance. Instead, they have an internally based self-image. And that's why we spend so much time on thoughts. That's why it's the core level of our program, or your thoughts, because you've got to have that self-image base internally in there and solid, because you cannot let your self-worth be based on your performance. It's because rather than saying I'm a failure, they say I missed that one, or I made a mistake, and just live up to it and just move on down the road. I mean, it's just an event. I just missed that one. Because psychologically, we have two choices when we fail. We can internalize it or we can externalize it. And internalizing, you tend to blame yourself and say, man, I failed, like get back into that. I'm a failure. I meant this, that, and the other. Or you blame external events. That's what a lot of folks do, just to protect their self-esteem. They just start blaming other things, right? Well, you got to keep the right perspective. You want to take responsibility for your actions. We've talked about this over and over and over again. E plus R equals O. Events plus response to the events equal the outcome. But you have to take 100% responsibility of your actions. The universe is going to penalize you, I guarantee you. But you don't have to take failure personally. Just never, ever take it personally. It's just something that happens. So number one, achievers reject rejection. All right. Number two, achievers see failure as temporary, because people who personalize failure see a problem as a hole they're permanently stuck in. They just can't get out of it. Oh, woe is me time. But achievers see any predicament as temporary, because seeing failure as permanent is going to predestine you to be stuck. You're going to feel it every time. You're going to stop trying, and you're going to be never believing in your potential. It's just going to be beating yourself up time and time again, because failures are going to happen often. And you need to be ready for these. Just see them as temporary, because the only true failure is quitting. The rest is just learning. And that's all we're doing, is we're just going through and we're learning. We'll talk about this in a few slides later, but we're learning what works and what doesn't work. So just see all of your failures as temporary, because that's what the high achievers do. Achievers see failure as isolated incidents. Maybe not as much as these guys. These guys say, man, there's isolated incidents everywhere. Well, in your life, there might be isolated incidents everywhere. That just means you've been busy, but now you got some cleanup to do, right? But when achievers fail, they see it as a momentary event, not a lifetime epidemic. So it's just not something that's going to hang around on you forever. Just get out there, fail. I used to have a thing that said fail, kill them, and move on, but we took that down because everybody's so worried about the word kill. But to just get rid of them and go on down the road. It is not personal. Do not take failure personal. Please do not do that, because it's just not. It's just a thing. It's something that you go through. And if you want to succeed, don't let any single incident color your view of yourself. Just never, ever, ever do that, because you need to see failure as an isolated incident. All right. Number 4, achievers keep expectations realistic. So keep your expectations realistic. The greater the feat you desire to achieve, the greater the mental preparation required for overcoming obstacles and persevering over the long haul. Now we have a course called Overcoming Obstacles. It's really interesting in the network, because and the reason why we have is because they're always there. But anytime you're going to go after something big, there's going to be some obstacles you're going to have to overcome, and that's what we talk about in our thought and our preparedness before we even get to action. Because we want to know they're there, because we want the subconscious to be told when we see those that we knew they were there already. And this was our plan to get around that. And we knew that it was going to be there. We knew it was not going to be easy. And we are going to persevere over the long haul. We talked about perseverance a lot last week. But it takes time, effort, and the ability to overcome setbacks. It just does. And you just have to be ready for it. If you prepare, it's going to be a lot easier. But you must approach each day with reasonable expectations and not get your feelings hurt when everything doesn't turn out perfectly. Again, we got to get out of these pity parties, people. Can't be having those. None of this woe is me stuff. I don't know why this just happens to me. It doesn't just happen to you. I'm telling you, it doesn't. It happens to everybody who's out there making things happen. But don't set yourself up. Don't sit here and have a day that you know daggum good and well, you know way you're going to get all this done. There's no way you're going to reach these people. There's no way we're going to get that. Just don't do that. Or you're going to find yourself like getting up at 4:30 in the morning and putting an IV in your arm like somebody else I know. But you've got to approach each day with reasonable expectations, because you just don't want to get out there and set yourself up for failures. But again, achievers keep expectations realistic. So every week, when you're looking at your week, when you're looking at your month, when you're looking at your 12 weeks, be sure you've got some realistic. So you want to stretch. You want some stretch goals in there. You don't want it to be easy, but you definitely want to don't consistently make things unrealistic for yourself. Number 5, focus on strengths. What distinguishes winners from losers is that winners concentrate at all times on what they can do, not what they can't do. And the idea is to remember your successes. And that's from Bobby Terra, president of the New York Jersey Devils. And I'd heard him one time, and he talked about a guy that he was a really, really good at shooting and making the goals, but he wasn't that good of a skater. So I always worried about people catching up with him. And so he told the guy, says, don't worry about people catching up on you. Just keep your eye on that goal, and you just hit that puck in that goal before they can get to you, right? So he just said, do what you can do and don't worry about what you can't do. Because again, just got to remember your successes and keep those with you, because that's going to build up your subconscious. Your subconscious is going to start understanding that you are successful, and it's going to forget all those things that you can't do. And if a weakness is a matter of character, again, we got a problem and it needs much attention. So you got to focus on that and shore it up first. So as we're going through here, you can't be faking it. Everybody talk about fake it till you make it. Well, there's a point when you get up in this A to B for me strategy, in this climbing this ladder to get to your destiny, you're not going to be able to fake character. People are going to see through that. And so you got to have your core values in place. So if there's a weakness that is a matter of character, you got to get on that right away and get that shored up. Otherwise, the best bet is failing forward, is developing and maximizing your strengths. And that's just what you've got to do. So once your character is in place, just make sure that you're developing and maximizing those strengths and just focus on your strengths and don't worry about your weaknesses. That's what Fiverr's for. That's what the delegating is for. That's what hiring people is for. If you need those things done, find someone who's good at that. You do what you're good at and just keep the ball rolling and keep the train moving for yourself. But achievers always focus on their strengths. Number six, achievers vary approaches to achievement. There's a four-way, and then there's a lot of different ways you can get there. So you have to be able to vary the approach to achievement. In the psychology of achievement, Brian Tracy writes about four millionaires who made their fortunes by age 35. Lucky guys there, right? Well, no, they were involved in an average of 17 businesses before finding the one. So it took them a lot of trial, error, a lot of failing forward, a lot of learning for these guys to get there by the time they were age 35. 17 businesses, but they kept trying and they kept changing until they found something that worked for them. And that's what we talk about all the time in 12-week year. That's why we have 12-week year in our programs, because when you get out there, it gets you flexible, it keeps you hungry, and it keeps you aggressive, but it keeps it safe for you so that you're not you're stuck in a rut that you can't get out of in reaching your goals. But you definitely want to just keep trying and changing and get light on your feet until they found something that worked for them, and they hung in there, and again, perseverance, they made it happen. But achievers are willing to vary their approaches to problems, and that's important in every walk of life, not just business. So when you're looking at your goals, again, we say this every time we talk, just about, this isn't just about money. Everybody thinks success is money. Well, part of it is, but financial and career and physical and spiritual and mental and social and all these things, your relationships, your family, all that stuff is so important. So if you got some problems in those, vary your approaches in those as well, because you want to get those things handled as well. But one thing interfering in your life is going to affect the other things. So you want to be sure that you've got these things, all of them, taken care of. But don't be overly concerned with any negative opinion of others. Simply take we'll just have to wait and see attitude. A lot of people say, yeah, that ain't going to work. There is no way that is going to work. Well, if that was the case, about half the billionaires out there wouldn't be billionaires because they started doing things a little bit differently. Anytime there's over the year, anytime there's anything that there's something cool that come up, a new way of doing things, I mean, people are going to flock to that. So don't be overly concerned. If it flops, it flops. But to have that, we'll just have to see attitude. And if you think it's right, go for it. Don't kill yourself to get it done. But if it's not working, it's not working. But just get out there, and you just got to keep trying and change until you find the one that works for you. So achievers always vary their approaches to achievement. Okay. All right. Achievers, bounce back. Heck yeah, we bounce back. Life is a series of outcomes, and sometimes they're what you want, and that's great. Figure out what you did right and rinse and repeat, right? But sometimes they aren't what you want. And again, you got to say, great. Figure out what you did so you won't do it again. So whether you win or whether you lose, you win, that's great. But if you don't, you got to learn from it. Like I said yesterday, if you had your first quarter, if it worked out for you and all your goals were met, congratulations on the win. If your first quarter you had your goals out there, so you didn't quite make them, but you were working on them, then congratulations on the begin. So just get out there and celebrate what you did, but figure out what wasn't working and just do that reflect, plan, execute thing we talk about all the time, every day, every week, every month, every 12 weeks, every year. Reflect, plan, and execute. Reflect on what happened, then plan how you can do a little bit different, make it a little bit better, and then get out there and execute. None of this works if you don't execute. If action isn't in the picture, you're dead in the water anyway. So why aren't we even reflecting and planning, right? So get them all three done. Achievers are able to keep moving forward no matter what happens because they're just flexible. They can get in there, they can get it done. because they know they're going to be successful. It's just a matter of finding the right combination. And that's possible because they remember that failure does not make them failures. They don't take it personal. Failure does not make them failures. And that's the key to bouncing back right there. And that's the key for the whole program, the 7 abilities of high achievers. This is what's going to enable you to fail, not take it personally, and keep moving forward. Well, all right. That is your Friday keep it going forward moment. So uh, weekend, take this in stride, get in there and get some things done for yourself. Make sure if you haven't got your stuff done yet, you got some time left. It's 1:18 by my clock, so you got a little time this afternoon. But again, you want to have some good time with your family this week. Have a wonderful Easter. Maybe have some nice brunch or something. I know we got about a $50-something piece of prime rib in there. It's going to be cooking on Sunday morning, so we're going to be eating well in the neighborhood over here. But anyway, you guys have a wonderful weekend, and again, a great Easter. Enjoy the Easter egg hunt if you guys do that. But we will talk to you later, and as always, just keep moving in the direction of your dreams. We'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great one. Bye.